So I already talked about the women's war game match, and I'm gonna talk about the men's war game match now because I went off on a whole tangent. I was so angry at that match. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's start with the men's war games match, 2024 Survivor Series. Okay, and so. Now, before the match, this was cool. Before the match, everybody introduced themselves and for some reason wanted to tell us what university they went to, right? Yo, Tonga Loa, I have a theory about him. But this guy went out here and said I went to the university. Yeah, he did. Don't know where that is. Don't think it's real. But I like his character. You know, it took me some time to get used to the new Bloodline, the Bloodline 2.0 with Solo. But every single one of them is portrayed as a dangerous person. I think that Tonga gets inspiration from animals. I think his biggest inspiration is a snake. Clearly that man is pretending to be a snake. He's like, all the time. And then when he got into the cage, he was climbing it animalistically. Come on, you can't tell me that he doesn't. All he does is be different type of animals. Specifically, you know, he really gets inspiration from that snake, but he's all types of animals, okay? But I loved it. I thought this was nice. Right? See how it's different from the women's? We're gonna get into it, right? Anyway, we started like that, and I thought it was a good way to, I guess, introduce anyone, right? Now, the way I'm going to do War Games is I'm just going to go through all the members and how I felt like they did in this match. Because I'm not going to go through the whole match. I'm not going to go through all the spots in this match. I'm going to tell you how I feel about the match. I'm going to tell you how I think they did in the match. And where we can go from the story from here. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? You know what I mean? Let's get into it because I have a lot to say. Now, Jay did a great job. Okay, I think Jay did a really good job. And I love how we're always showcasing him and Sami Zayn. If they're together, they're always doing, that thing. So, loved it, and Jay's always super kicking everybody. So, he's great. He also, I think, he did a frog splash. I'm going to talk about him a little bit more, but I also want to talk about Jimmy. Now, I know that, they're trying to put them apart, and that's great. I don't want to put it that way together because they're twins. I want to talk about it because they took out Jacob Fatu together. So, that's all. Now, Jimmy was great as well. I think he did a really good job. I tell you, every single person in this match played their role perfectly. Because they had a role to play. And so they each played their role. Jay and Jimmy, Jay was here for Jimmy. Sammy was here for Jay. And they proved it. And then Jimmy was here for Roman, Anytime that, and not just that, they were all here for Roman. Even though Jay wasn't here for him, Sammy said he wasn't here for him, he was here for Jay, they still had his back. They were always trying to make sure that Roman was fine, that he was okay once he got in the match, right? But I think they did a great job, as they should have. And like I said, I'm gonna go back to it. The reason I want to talk about Jay and Jimmy is because they took out one of the real monsters in this match, was Jacob. Okay, they really did. They put him through a table. I think it was Jimmy jumped off of the top of the cage on the side, and then he jumped and he put Jacob Fatu through a table. See? Think they did a good job. Now, you see, I made it go around. Now, Jimmy also was like, when he saw Sammy, like they used to. Never trust Jimmy, he's a snake. But sure, for this match, right? Now, Jacob Fatu. This was his first War Games, but he was a beast. What makes Jacob's booking so strong is that the moves or the hits that would normally drop a wrestler to the floor for more than 3 seconds, they don't do that for him, okay? Like, for example, when CM Punk came into this match, he brought the red toolbox, right, that he beat Drew with. He used that toolbox on Jacob Fatu's forehead. Like, he hit him in the head. Jacob didn't sell it for nothing. That is what makes him a beast. Is that normal things that would take out a man are not taking him out at all. He's just jumping back. The same with Randy Orton when he was in a match with Randy Orton. Things that Randy would do that would take out his opponents for a long time. Not Jacob Fatu. You gotta be on him like white on rice, man. White on. He's just go jump. He's just going to get back up and beat you up. Okay? But that's what he did this whole match. This whole match, and you know, he loves Solo. He loves Solo. And so he played his role. His role was to defend Solo. That is his role. He's to be a monster. It's to be a beast. And he did a good job. He's the enforcer. And that's exactly what he did. It took two men, literally, to take him out. One was Jay, and the other was Jimmy. And Jimmy had to jump off of the cage just to get through this man through the table, Fatu through the table, so that he could stop. Because he's a force to be reckoned with, right? And then, so that's Jacob. I'm going to talk about Jacob. I'm going to leave it there. And then, now, I'm so sorry. But, you know, the Loas, the other Loa, I'm so sorry for him. You know, because I feel like everybody in Solo 2.0 and his whole, like, Bloodline 2.0, they all kind of have a character. You know, you have Jacob Fatu, and he's the werewolf. He is a beast. Solo is the new tribal chief. So he is the head. He's in charge. You know, and then you had Tonga Loa. He's a snake, an animal. I don't know. But he has a character, and he's dangerous. He's dangerous. This is the only other person in this group that I feel like is normal. The other Loa. And mind you, he has the title. He used to. He used to have the title. They don't have it anymore, my bad. But I feel like he kind of goes into the background. Don't get me wrong. As a wrestler, wow, right? Like, great wrestler. But I think that character-wise, this group is supposed to be really dangerous. And everyone else in the group is showing why they're so dangerous, except for him. That's just my opinion. Maybe I missed something. Maybe that's just my interpretation. Leave it in the comments below. Tell me how dangerous you think he really is. But I don't know. I don't see it. You know, when Tonga came in here, he tried to run over Kevin Owens with a car. The freaking werewolf is over here screaming, "I love you, Solo," at every match. While he's literally destroying people for Solo and praying too. He's always bowing to Solo. Because, you know, he gave him a chance in the Bloodline 2.0. But the other Tonga, he's the other Lo, I'm sorry, not his name is not Tonga Loa. I'm sorry if I'm saying the names incorrectly, by the way. He just kind of is in the background. As a wrestler, I think he's an amazing wrestler. He played his part too. He made sure to try to win the match for Solo. But I just feel like he's not, can't believe I'm going to say it this way, he's not dangerous enough. Like, they don't book him like that. But maybe he's the youngest one there. I don't know. But I just don't get that vibe from him. Like, I get it from Tonga. He'll be like, right? And then you have the werewolf, "I love you, Solo," you know? But then and then you have Solo Sokoa, like, But then you have him, and he's just like, I'm just here. Don't know why, but I'm here to be with you, Solo. I acknowledge you, Solo. You see what I mean? He is the quietest of the group. There you go. He's the quiet one. Maybe that makes him the most dangerous one. I just haven't seen it yet, you know? But that's all I had to say. He is a great wrestler, though, and he played his role well. I'm not going to say he didn't. This was a great War Games with him, right? But I think he did a really, really good job. Bronson Reed. Love me some Bronson Reed, but he was in the background too. The only thing I remember from Bronson Reed, besides the first tsunami he hit when he got in the match, is when he tried to hit another tsunami through the table with Roman Reigns, and he missed. But he played his role as well. He wanted a spot, he got a spot. You can't complain. He was in the main event, right? What you gonna complain about? And then, now, Solo, Punk, and Roman. I'm going to put them all three together. Time is running low. Punk and Roman did not get along, never got along. Egos. But at the end of the day, they had to put their differences aside or they would never beat Solo. Solo is delusional. He really thinks he is the new tribal chief. And at the end of the match, when everybody surrounded him, Roman gave him the opportunity to acknowledge him. And Roman said, hell no. Hell no. And every single one except for CM Punk. Because let me tell you something about Punk. He kept his promise. He said, I will have your back. But he did not get involved in family business. That was family business. He did not get a look at Solo during that time. No, he didn't. He let them handle their business with Solo Sikoa. And once they did, because everyone got a lick, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, every single one of them took a lick at Solo at the end. And then Roman hit him. Then Roman got him and got the pin. 1, 2, 3. But like I said, CM Punk, he did what he said he was going to do. He said, I'm here for a favor for Paul. And so He